Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan battle video. In this video we are going to take a look at how the free-to-play LR Super Saiyan Goku Jr. and Vegeta Jr. do in the Gods of Destruction event. So we've got them here against Inwe or Iwine or however you pronounce his name, still no idea. But yeah, basically we are going to take him on and essentially we're going to see how they do. Now, a very important thing about these guys is that they have 100% attack and defense at the start of turn, but they can raise their defense by 10% with each attack, up to a total of 70%. So we really want to see how their max attack stat does in terms, or defense stat does in terms of, defense. We are going to use an item to set them up because as they are right now, they will definitely suffer quite a bit. In terms of team build, we're running them under 130% leads. So we've got the AGL Vegeta and we've also got the Gohan, so it's 130%, 120% lead. It's honestly not the worst lead to run them under. The issue is that they're not on Pure Saiyan, so they can't really run under like the AGL Vegeta or anything. And there's no really solid AGL like partners. Mainly you could maybe use the Kale and Caulifla unit as leaders, as 130% joint forces leaders, but there's no really high AGL lead for them to run under, barring the mono type leads. So we're going to run them under this. We're going to see how they do here. The nice thing is that they stack attack permanently, so they raise their attack consistently. So after a couple attacks or super attacks, they should really get a decent attack stack going. And as you can see here, they're starting off with 3 super attacks, which is really good. And they're really quickly building up their defense. Their defense is going to gradually build up. They started at 100k, which is a very decent mark. And yeah, we'll just kind of see where they get to. As units, I think they're pretty good. I think a lot of people give them a hard time as well because, they came out on JP as well. And they're being compared to the new level of meta that kind of was introduced with the JP anniversary. And I think I think as a whole they get a bit of a hard time. I think they're very good actually. You can use them for things like LVE, you can use them for things like the legendary Goku GT event. I have no doubt that you can use them there. You can use them here in the Gods of Destruction event, which you'll see here. And also you can see them in ESBR possibly as well. We'll take a look at how they do there. But I mean, the unit is very usable. I think they have a lot of versatility. Maybe not so for the absolute hardest content in the game on the JP side at least, but definitely right now in global they have plenty of uses. And the nice thing about them is they give themselves extra ki with rainbow orbs, which is very helpful, especially in certain situations. Like here you can see we're not really linking them up with the best links or anything. They really are only sharing 2 links with this Kale and Caulifla, but they are going to do more than fine. You can see their defense has gone up quite a bit. Yeah, we are going to use a second Whis just to set them up. This is a kind of team that definitely needs setup. But yeah, they definitely are doing a really nice job in building up their defense. And we'll take a look on their next rotation as to how they do without an item, and you'll be pleasantly surprised that they actually do pretty well. I was very impressed. Obviously taking a super attack, they probably wouldn't be able to take too much damage. I mean, they wouldn't be able to take a super attack and multiple normals and stuff like that, but I mean, just based off of how well they do in that situation, it's pretty good. Just considering the damage they also bring is pretty decent as well. Here it's okay, it's decent damage, but it's gonna continue to build. That's a good attack stat. They can fire off multiple of these. If you build them into crit, they'll be doing good damage. I mean, we've got 1-2 super attacks. This is close to together 4.3 million in damage. And yeah, if you add up their super attacks from last turn, they've done a pretty good chunk of damage, especially considering again that they can be built entirely crit, that they're not entirely they're not an addition build or anything like that. They can definitely do some good work and some good load, I want to say. They definitely are a unit that provides a lot of utility. Now they do buff GT heroes, and they buff so they do buff GT heroes, and they do buff World Tournament units. It's not necessarily the most useful here. You could definitely use the joined forces, Trunks and Goten, the GT Trunks and Goten, if you want to. It's probably a decent shout if you do want to use them here. It's not really necessarily the worst thing in the world, but yeah, like 100%, you definitely could use those units, and they would get a pair of buffs from them as well. They would definitely give them a pair of buffs. They wouldn't necessarily get any from them, but they would definitely give them a pair of buffs, which I think is really, really good overall. So here we have no item in any way, shape or form. So we're going to see how they do here. They have 160, 170 so thousand defense. I think they can raise it once more as well. They can still improve it slightly as well. So we'll see how they do after their attack. The nice thing is they're paired up with the Kale and Caulifla, who are a very good first slot tank once they're built up. These guys do have like a little bit of leeway to work. They do definitely have like a little bit of room to kind of improve, which I think overall is pretty good. They definitely do have space to improve and get better and everything like that. So yeah, for me, they definitely are a much better unit than people give them credit for. Their defense is holding up more than fine. They're doing some really decent damage. Multiple attacks, multiple super attacks. Only 7, 8k without an item, which is good. 7 or 8k without an item is very good in an event like this for a free-to-play unit that's running at a double 130% leads. I mean, remember, we're not running them under 150% leads. We're not running them under these huge leader skills or anything like that. So I think, yeah, it's really, really, really good. It's very impressive how well they're doing. So for me, I don't know, I'm very, very happy with how well they've done. We're going to use the revive skill here just to get one more turn of them, I think, and then we'll kind of just back out. We'll back out the stage, and then yeah, I think we've seen everything we need to see from them in terms of this event. Like I said, they just look very solid. I think people underestimate them. I think they definitely bring like a good mix of abilities to the table. They bring solid defense. They bring pretty good offense, to be honest, especially if you build them full crit. Like, they can do some decent damage. And yeah, their support ability, although it doesn't really apply to all the units here, it's still somewhat usable. I mean, especially if you work through like what you're using or what's happening. So yeah, I think definitely from my angle, I definitely think they're a very usable unit. And I appreciate these kind of free-to-play units. I genuinely do quite like units like this. I think they are good. Players who are new to Dokkan or anything like that, they're going to love using them. You can see that 170 or so thousand defense, which is very good under 130% leads. I mean, it's really not that bad. They've got no premier linking going on. They're just being used in like the most raw form I should say that they can, and they're doing a brilliant job. So yeah, for me, I like what they bring to the table. I like what's happening here, and yeah, I think if you do have them and you're struggling with this stage, you want to run a team build like this or something similar to this, you probably can. They'll do a great job overall, and they'll bring a lot to the table. I mean, look at them. They're doing some really good damage. Again, ultra super attack. The rainbow orbs are working really good. And yeah, they're tanking her out. I mean, like I said, 8k, 7k, it's not bad. 8k on average, really, really good. With no item, top-notch stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much it from me in terms of their performance here. I think we've seen everything we need to see. Like I said, just probably gonna quit out the stage, and then, I think we've seen everything we need to see here. As always though, guys, I want to know what your thoughts are. Have you used them? Do you have them? Do you plan on using them for any hard content, or do you just think they're not really usable in general? But as always, guys, if you enjoyed the video, I'd like you to leave a like on the video, because it does obviously help me out, and I do appreciate it. And if you have a comment, I'd love you to comment so I can reply back and we can have a little bit of a discussion. But that's it from me. Take care, stay safe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.